Hello, everybody. It's time for a little potluck quiz. I'm just going to read some quiz questions and give you a second to think about the answer, and then I'll give you the answer. What did teenage Anne Frank leave behind that was published after her death? What did teenager Anne Frank leave behind that was published after her death? It was her diary, and it was titled The Diary of Anne Frank. Who had a 60s #1 hit with the word "Stop in the Name of Love"? That would have been the Supremes. Stop in the Name of Love. And I'm not going to try to sing that for you. Okay, who liked Richard Burton so much that she married him not once, but twice? Who liked Richard Burton so much that she married him not once, but twice? And that would be Elizabeth Taylor. What do caterpillars turn into? Of course, we know they turn into butterflies. And where do raisins come from? Where do we get our raisins from? From dried grapes. What kind of animal provides us with bacon? What kind of animal gives us bacon? And of course, all of you all know that, I know, and that's the pig. Okay, what river flows through London? London, England. What river flows through London? And that's the Thames. I think it's spelled Thames, but I think they pronounce it the Thames. Okay, what is the name of the bear in the Jungle Book? Little Mowgli in the Jungle Book. The name of the bear in the Jungle Book is Baloo. And he's the one that sings about the bare necessities of life. Okay, name the most famous nurse of Victorian times who improved care for wounded soldiers. This was the most famous nurse of Victorian times who improved care for wounded soldiers. And if you guessed Florence Nightingale, you would be correct. Okay. Pharaoh is the title given to rulers of which ancient country? Pharaohs were titles given to rulers in which ancient country? Egypt is right. Okay. Which Italian city is famous for its Leaning Tower? Which Italian city is famous for its Leaning Tower? And I'm pretty sure you all know this. It's Pisa. Not pizza, but Pisa. Okay, which fictional character or fictional detective lived at 221 Baker Street? Oh, goodness. Which fictional detective lived at 221B Baker Street? I apologize for I read that wrong the first time. Okay, the fictional detective character who lived at 221B Baker Street is Sherlock Holmes. On a farm, a kid is a baby what? On a farm, if you call something a kid, it is a baby what? It's a baby goat. Okay. Which English king had 6 wives? Which English king had 6 wives? I'll give you a hint. His name was Henry, but do you know what number came after Henry? He was Henry VIII. Henry VIII had 6 wives. Okay. If you immerse food in vinegar to prolong its lifespan, this is known as what? If you immerse food in vinegar to prolong its lifespan, this process is known as what? It's pickling. Pickling. Okay, what food would the fictional sailor Popeye consume in order to instantly increase his strength? Okay, Popeye the Sailor Man, he would eat a certain food and instantly get stronger and stronger. And what was that food? It was spinach, of course. Okay, what is the response when someone says, "See you later, alligator"? What's the typical response? They say, "See you later, alligator," you're going to probably say, "After a while, crocodile." Okay, and who is Mickey Mouse's girlfriend? What is Mickey Mouse's girlfriend's name? Minnie, of course, Minnie Mouse. Okay, what is a three-sided shape? Three-sided shape is a triangle. Okay, now this is the Japanese art of folding paper. The Japanese art of folding paper, and it's actually quite beautiful. It's just can be pretty amazing just in itself, just as a piece of art, just the way they fold the paper. And the Japanese art of folding paper is known as origami. Origami. If you have an illegal traveler on a ship, what are they called? If someone is traveling illegally on your ship out on the ocean, what are they called? They're called a stowaway. Okay, this bird is a laughing Australian bird. This bird is known as the laughing Australian bird. What is that bird? It's a kookaburra. Kookaburra. Okay, if a year has 366 days, what is that year? If a year has 366 days in it, what is that year known as? It is leap year. Okay, these are pegs that keep clothes on a line when you're trying to dry them. What are these pegs called that hold your clothes on the clothesline so that you can get them dry? And they are called clothespins. Okay, the Spanish word for friend is what? What is the Spanish word for friend? And that would be amigo. Mi amigo. Okay. If you're going to marry somebody, they sometimes say you're going to blank the knot. What are you going to do to that knot? If you're marrying someone, you're going to blank the knot. You're going to tie the knot. That's right. Tie the knot. Okay. People who live in a convent, what are they known as? People who live in a convent are known as nuns. Okay, this is a window covering, and it's known as a Venetian blank. A Venetian blank that is a window covering. Okay, this window covering is a Venetian blind. Poems for young children are known as nursery what? Nursery rhymes is right. Okay. What name is rubella better known as? The name, if you hear the word rubella, what is that referring to? It's referring to the German measles. What color is ruby? If we say that something is ruby, what color are we referring to? It's red. It would be a shade of red. What fictional story character has a nose that grows every time he lies? This little fictional story character has a nose that grows every time he lies. And of course, that is Pinocchio. Okay. We're almost done. We're winding down to the end. Okay, this animal, what animal does a cygnet grow into? And when I say cygnet, it is spelled Cygnet. A cygnet is the smaller version of this animal, and when they grow up, they are known as, and I'll give you a hint, it's a bird. So a cygnet, when it grows up, it becomes a swan. Okay, which one of these two animals is generally larger? Is it a saltwater crocodile or a freshwater crocodile? Which animal is generally larger, the saltwater crocodile or the freshwater crocodile? And if you guessed the saltwater crocodile, you would be correct. Okay, who was the lady who played Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote? I know probably a lot of you have seen this TV show, so some of you may know this right off the bat. What person played Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote? And it was Angela Lansbury. Okay, which military decoration is awarded to U.S. soldiers wounded or killed in action? This military decoration is awarded to U.S. soldiers when they are wounded or killed in action. And that would be the Purple Heart. Okay, what anniversary is celebrated with a diamond jubilee? What anniversary is celebrated with a diamond jubilee? It would be your 60th. The 60th wedding anniversary is celebrated with a diamond jubilee. What were the Christian names of the siblings who made up the 1970s group The Carpenters? What were the Christian names of the siblings who made up the 1970s group The Carpenters? It was Karen and Richard. I know a lot of you probably remember hearing them. Karen and Richard. Do you know what Elvis Presley's middle name was? Does anybody know? Any of you Elvis fans that have maybe been to Graceland and eat up all kinds of information about Elvis? Do you know what his middle name was? It started with an A. He was known as Elvis Aaron Presley. Elvis Aaron. Okay, aloha is a word of greeting that originates from which language and what state? Aloha is a word of greeting that originates from which language, and it's mostly spoken in one state of the United States. And you would be right, it's the Hawaiian language spoken in Hawaii. Okay, in which film did Marilyn Monroe sing "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend"? In which film did Marilyn Monroe sing "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend"? And that would be Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. What company released the Mustang in 1964? What company released the Mustang in 1964? And that would be Ford, of course. All right, according to the Four Seasons, what type of girls don't cry? According to the Four Seasons, which is a singing group, what kind of girls don't cry? And that would be Big Girls Don't Cry. Some of you probably remember that song, Big Girls Don't Cry. And I'm not singing that one either. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today for this potluck quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you again real soon.